Okay, so he charges 25 per hour. And so what does the y-intercept need to be? And so $50, because why would that be the y-intercept?
Because it's his starting.
It's his starting value. It's how much he charges even if he only stays there for 5 minutes. If he comes in and let's say he's fixing your drain and he just pulls a candy wrapper out of it. It takes him 2 seconds. He's still charging you $50 because that's his drop-in fee, okay? So the slope here, you would write 25. The y-intercept, you would write 50. Make sure you make those notes to yourself of why they're the y-intercept and why they're the slope. Okay, so look at the next one. Anna has an initial value of $365 and she spends $15 a day. What is her rate?
15.
Okay, so it's $15 a day because that's going to be repeated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So dollars a day means it repeats every day. So it's the slope. So it's going to happen more than once. It's the slope. Now, is that a positive 15 or a negative 15? If she spends money, what does that mean? It's negative. She's spending it. She's taking it out of her account. So the slope is negative 15. And then the initial value means what?
The starting value, so y-intercept.
The y-intercept. Very good. So she started with $365 and she's spending $15 a day. Now, if you were to write the equation, what would the equation be for this one? Y equals what?
15x plus 3.
Negative 15x
plus 365.
plus 365. And you could figure out how much money she would have at different days just by putting a number in for x. So if you wanted to know how much money she would have left after 10 days, you'd put in 10 and then 10 times negative 15,
Is
negative 150, and then you would add the 365 and that would tell you how much she has left.
It'd be 215.
It'd be what?
215.
215. Very good. All right. And our last type of problem, ordered pairs. Okay, we have seen this before. We needed to see it again. For an ordered pair, we talked about it up here whenever we talked about the finding the slope of the table. It's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It is very helpful if you label your points. You just label them in order. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, we are going to hit this kind of heavily this week on practicing finding it from ordered pairs. So let's first find the slope. You would take 15 minus negative 3 over 5 minus 0. What is 15 minus negative 3? 18. And 5 minus 0 is just 5. Now, can I simplify that any further?
Yeah. 8.6.
Without turning it into decimal.
No.
That's the reduced fraction. Either write the most reduced fraction or the decimal. Okay. And for the y-intercept, where's the y-intercept located?
X equals 0.
Where x is equal to 0. So if x is equal to 0, then this is the y-intercept. And so the y-intercept is negative 3. All right. Let's look at this next one. We need to find the slope first, right? So if this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So now we have 6 minus 22 over negative 4 minus 7. 6 minus 22,
Negative 16.
okay. And negative 4 minus 7, negative 11. And a negative over a negative is a positive. So this is 16 over 11. What is the decimal for that?
1.45 repeated.
Okay, 1.45 repeating. I just was curious what that was. Okay, and so we don't have the y-intercept, do we? All right, so what do we need to do? You could work backwards if you're comfortable with that. Think about this. If you have a table, make yourself a little XY table here. And let's think about this. Okay, so we have an ordered pair. -4 is closer to 0 than 7 is, right? So we have -4, and then -3, then -2, -1, and then 0, right? Okay. The output for -4 is already 6. They showed us here, right? That's where I got this set of numbers from. But now I have to find the other ones. I found -3, -2, -1, and 0 because I know that where x is equal to 0, that's my y-intercept. All right, and how much is my number changing each time? Is it increasing or decreasing?
Increasing.
It's increasing. So what is 6 plus 1.45 repeating? I would suggest adding 6 and 16/11ths. Just to make sure that your decimal stays correct. Okay. So 17.45 repeating. Oh, 7. Sorry. All right, and then we would have to add that again, right, to get to the next one. So then you would take your 7.45 repeating and add what to it?
1.45, which would be 8.90 repeating.
That's right. So go ahead and work your way to 0. Yes, ma'am.
Could you, like, from a calculator, if you were to put in a repeating decimal, how would you do that?
Okay, so in the calculator, if you want to write a repeating decimal, okay, let me show you real quick. Okay, so 7.45 repeating. You would just repeat that 4-5 over and over. I would go to the end of the screen. You don't have to get crazy. I would press enter to make sure it showed up correctly. Is it showing up right? Yes. It rounds the very last number. It's always going to round that very last number because our calculator is saving battery power. But if you wanted the fraction, you would press this arrow key here. And so this is just 82 over 11. So that actually might be faster if you just know that this 7.45 repeating is 82 over 11. And if you add 16/11ths, what's 16 plus 82?
98.
So 98 over 11, and then add 16 again.
114.
114 over 11, and then add 16 one last time.
130.
So 130 over 11. What is 130 over 11?
11.81 repeating.
Okay. So 130 divided by 11 is 11.81 repeating. You can ignore that very last value because our calculator is programmed just to round it. Okay. So then writing, you can either write the improper fraction 82 over 11, or you can write the decimal 11.81, but use that bar notation. So the slope was 16/11ths. Oh, sorry, I wrote it in the wrong place. The slope was 16/11ths, but the intercept is what?
11.81 repeating.
Yeah, or 82/11ths. Kind of a crazy number to work with. I probably should have done a better job for that example. All right, now, this very last at the very bottom, place all of the examples in order from least to greatest by slope. Okay, so I'm just going to label some of these A, B, C, and D. We'll call this one A, this one B, this one C, and this one D. Can you place those in order from least to greatest? Okay, so which one has the smallest slope? A is -2/3, B is -3, C is 25, oh wait, C is 1/2, D is 25. Which one's the smallest? negative 3, B. Sorry.